Hey guys, today I'm going to teach you 5 base crisp recipes, perfect to shape and press. We'll start with a savory wild garlic crisp, then a sweet meringue, a sweet honey crisp, a savory paprika potato crisp, and finally a chocolate opalina crisp. With just a little creativity, you can easily adjust these recipes to your preference. So, let's begin. First, the wild garlic isomalt crisp. Submerge 300 grams of Jerusalem artichoke in cold water and season it with salt. Now bring it to a boil and boil them till cooked. This takes about 30 minutes. After that, drain the water and let them cool down for a couple of minutes. Then place them on your cutting board and cut them in half. Now press the skins off. The skins are great to dry and then deep fry. Very delicious and no waste. Then transfer 200 grams of the cooked Jerusalem artichoke in a blender and also add 60 grams of isomalt sugar, 15 grams of egg white, 10 grams of glucose syrup, 2 grams of salt and 45 grams of wild garlic leaves. Now blend it till smooth. This takes a couple of minutes. Then pour it into a bowl, cover it and let it cool down in your fridge. Now place a stencil on a silicone sheet and spread the wild garlic mixture with a palette knife. Then remove the stencil and dry them at 80 degrees Celsius for around 3 to 4 hours. They need to be completely dry. Once dry and still hot, remove them from the sheet and place them on a shaping press. Press the other half on top and shape them. Make sure they're still hot to prevent them from breaking. If needed, give them some more heat in the oven or with a heat gun. All the stencils and presses I use in this video are from Mole Brothers, a partner of the channel. Now for the meringue crisp. Mix 150 grams of egg white with 150 grams of sugar, a gram of salt and a gram of citric acid. Start beating it and beat it till stiff fluffy peaks have formed. Just make sure that there is no sugar stuck on the bottom, so if needed, clean the bottom in between. This is the texture we're looking for. Now place a stencil on a silicone sheet and level the meringue with a palette knife. They need to be quite thick, otherwise they will tear when shaping them. Now remove the stencil and dry them completely at 70 degrees Celsius for about 2 to 3 hours. Then gently remove them from the sheet and place them on a greased press. Heat it up at 130 degrees Celsius for 2 minutes before shaping it with the top part of the press. You can also use a heat gun to reheat the meringue. Then remove it from the press and once cold, it's ready to be served. Now the honey tuile. Mix 60 grams of egg white with 40 grams of sunflower oil, 50 grams of flour, 10 grams of butter, 2 grams of salt and 50 grams of honey. Now blend it till smooth. Then transfer it into a bowl and let it set in your fridge. Once set, you can spread it on a silicone sheet using a stencil. Remove the stencil and bake them at 140 degrees Celsius till golden brown. This takes around 15 to 20 minutes. Then when still hot, shape the tuiles between a honeycomb press. Again, if needed, reheat the tuiles in the oven or with a heat gun. They need to be flexible from the heat, otherwise they will break. Then once cold, they're ready to be served. Now for the potato and paprika crisp. Begin by peeling a big starchy potato. Then slice it in small even pieces. This results in an even cooking. Now submerge the potato in cold water and season it with salt. Boil the potato till fully cooked. Once cooked, drain the water and set the potatoes aside for later. Then cut a shallot in half, clean it and cut it in thin slices. Now add a drizzle of oil to a pan and start softening the shallot. Do this on a low heat to prevent color from forming. You only want to soften and not caramelize. After that, measure 50 grams of the softened shallot into a blender and also add 25 grams of milk, 2 grams of smoked paprika powder, 25 grams of isomalt sugar and 3 grams of salt. Now blend it till smooth. Once smooth, add 110 grams of the boiled potatoes and blend it for a couple more seconds. Don't overmix it, otherwise the mixture gets too sticky and gluey. Then pass it through a fine sieve and press it through with a spatula or a ladle. After that, spread it on a silicone sheet using a stencil and level it with a palette knife. Now remove the stencil and dry them at 70 degrees Celsius for around 3 hours. Once dry, take them off the sheet and deep fry them at 160 degrees Celsius till the crisp stop bubbling. This takes between 10 and 20 seconds. Then directly place them on a press and shape them with the top part. Now let them cool down and they're ready to be served. Then the final recipe, the chocolate opalina crisp. Begin by mixing 100 grams of glucose syrup with 200 grams of fondant and 2 grams of salt. Now heat this up till the temperature is 160 degrees Celsius. Be sure to keep on mixing in between, otherwise the fondant will burn. It takes a while, but trust me, it's totally worth it. Once it has the right temperature, turn off the heat and let it cool down till it's 130 degrees Celsius. Then add 150 grams of dark chocolate and mix it till it's fully incorporated. After that, place it on a silicone sheet, place another sheet on top and flatten it. Now let it cool down completely. Then break it in smaller pieces and transfer it into a blender. Blend it into a fine powder. Now place a stencil on a silicone sheet and dust the chocolate powder on top. Make sure it's thick enough. Then remove the stencil. The powder on top of the stencil you can reuse, so don't throw it away. Now melt the powder in an oven at 150 degrees Celsius for around 3 to 4 minutes. Then let it cool down before gently removing it from the sheet and placing it on a press mold. Reheat it in the oven for a minute and shape it with the top mold. Then gently remove it from the press and it's ready to be served. Okay guys, that's it for today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed making it. And like I said before, with just a little creativity, you can easily adjust all these recipes to another season, the ingredients you have available, or just to your preference. So let me know in the comments what you want to see next, like and share the video, and subscribe to my channel if you want to support it and if you don't want to miss any other great recipes. And as always, bon appetit!